Hey y'all, we're going to try something different today. I'm hoping it works, but we won't know until we try. I've never done this before. I've done the techniques separate, but I've not done them together. So I wanted to try something a little different, and so that's what we're going to do today. Before we get started, hello, my name is Beth. If you're new here, thank you for joining us. If you're one of the subscribers, or you haven't subscribed yet, but you've been here many times, thank you so much for coming back. I am way up here. The camera's down here, and I'm up above the camera, so I can see what's going on. I have a little step thing up here. I can go up and down. I'm hoping my voice will be okay, because I'm actually on the back side of the microphone. So we will see if this will work. Alrighty. I just opened this. Just got it. Just opened it. This is a bad mold. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a mark. You can't pick it up, I don't think. But there is a mark right there. There's scratches all over it. I wish you could see it because it is bad looking. Right there. You see that imperfection? That's in the mold. That's not something on the mold. This is the way that it came. And there's another one right there too. Yeah, now you can see them. There's one right there. There's one over there. You see this on the lip right there. And if I was just to pour this straight, you would see every imperfection in this mold. But we're going to try something. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I have the my UV lamp right here. And I'm going to put another pair of gloves on over the top of these. Before we get started. These gloves are a little bit bigger. They came with, I just got some more Let's Resin, epoxy resin in. And it came with these, and they're just laying here. So, y'all know that I'm not a big fan of UV resin. But this technique I'm going to use, we're going to be using the bubble technique, dish soap, water. I mixed it up. I've got a straw where I can blow and get bubbles. We're going to be using this, but you know, this is almost out, so I'm going to have to go get another bottle of it. Okay. What I'm going to do, I tried to clean this off. This is a silicone mat. And what I'm going to try to do is to lay out enough. I'm going to have to cut this. I know I am. But I'm laying out just enough to use. I'm just sort of eyeballing it. I want it at least big enough. If I have to cut it a little bit, then I'll do that, but I don't want it to be too small. And then I'm just going to fill it in. And I'm not using a whole bunch, okay? I'm just trying to make a little thin inlay here, made out of UV resin. Hope y'all can see this, because I'm doing black on black, and it's the only silicone mat that I had that was not just totally dilapidated. doing a thin layer here. Okay, and I'm not really concerned with bubbles. So, and I can tell that I need to put a little bit more because okay. I hope you, yeah, you can see the outline. And I'm hoping, afraid that's not going to be big enough. Let's just make a little bit thicker out this way. Okay. Let's bubble. Yeah, I'm going to have bubbles. But since I'm adding bubbles, then this is not going to be an issue, right? Yep. Okay. I normally don't use a straw. But because I want different size bubbles, can y'all see this? And what I'm going to do, you don't want any of the liquid, you just want the bubbles. That's all you want. You just want the bubbles. And they're different sizes. And I'm okay with that. I want to make sure that it covers all the resin. Okay. We're going to take this. And we are going to cure this with the suds on top of it. And when that's done, I will be back. Okay. Let's turn this off for a minute. Let's look at this. Okay, that's still... You know what? I'm going to cure that piece too. I'm just going to see what's going to happen. But we'll work. There's the piece right there that I'm wanting. Let me just stick this up underneath here real quick. This is the back side of it. I just don't want to waste all that UV resin that's down there on that silicone sheet, and I can use it for something else. But I got to make sure this is cured really well. No, it's still sticky. Okay, I'll be back when this is totally done. Alrighty. This is totally cured. I did trim it just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. What I'm going to do is, this part's going to be up against my, I did dust the mold that I'm going to use with the Pearl Accents. And it's called Pearl White. It's Pearl X, not Accents, Pearl X. And it's called Pearl White. Just to give it a little bit of shimmer. We're not done with this yet, though. Most people put, excuse me. I should have brought something down here to drink. Most people at this point will use mica powder or camellia powder or some form of powder in here to bring out the bubbles. I don't want to do that. Let's see, is this, let me see if this is dry yet. I was curing the very thin layer, so I didn't waste the UV resin, but I need to move it. So let's see. Let's see how that's, let's see if I can peel it up. Oh, yes, I can. Oh, that looks like Swiss cheese. I'm going to use that for something. But yeah, that's totally, I just don't want to waste it. Let me cure it real quick while I'm getting my, and I'll wipe this off. So when that is done, I can place that down. Good enough. Yeah, it's still a little sticky, but I'm going to set this over here right now. We're going to turn the light off. I'm going to move it out of the way. If I can do that without knocking over anything. I'm going to wipe this off just a minute. As you can tell, I didn't have any wet UV resin left. I did cure it all. Okay. I'm going to put this on here. Now this is the rough side. And this is important to know. The rough side. This is the side that's going to go down on the mold, which is right here. The smooth side is going to go down. This is what is going to be showing when I pour the new resin into this, okay? So, that is the rough side. And what we're going to do, we're going to find a brush that I can use. I can't believe I don't have a brush out here. I'll be back with a brush. Maybe. Alrighty, I'm back. I have a little bitty tiny brush. I have my alcohol up here. I have my little alcohol sprayer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just spray a little bit of alcohol on here. just to get some alcohol down in there. I can't tell if I got any on there or not. Well, these gloves hinder me because they're too big. And I can't really. Okay, we'll find out as soon as I pour the first one on. Okay, I'm using blue. I don't want to put it right on there. I want to pour it on the brush. And then I'm going to dab it. If I want it to go further. Now this is a Sinker White alcohol ink. I'm doing this to make it a little bit different color. I want to see what it's looking like on the other side. Yeah, I want some of that off, so you see what I'm doing? Okay. And now I'm going to take the Marabou Rainbow. A darker blue there. Because that's where there's no bubbles. And so I want to keep it darker. Yeah. So you see where I'm putting it on straight. It goes on darker and it goes into the little bubble holes darker. See how darker that is? But if I don't want that much of a dark area, I take the Sinker White. I'm rubbing it in and I'm removing it. You see how I did that? Okay. Okay, now I'm going to use yellow. Yeah, I'm going to go in some of these areas in the blue. And I'm just playing. I've never used alcohol ink this way before, so I'm just playing around. See what I'm doing here? I just added just the marabou, and then I'm putting the sinker white right there. I have no idea. Ooh, I sure like that. Okay, and I sure want to dry this, so I'm going to dry this real fast to keep it from running. And y'all can see this okay. It does not take long to dry this either. Oop. I really like that look right there. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get the bubbles. Okay. Now you can use a bigger brush. If you want to do a bigger area. I'm just dripping it on over here. This is something you just need to play around with. This is going to be your personal preference. And for you to get the feel of this, you're just going to have to do it. I'm just showing you the possibilities of what you can do if you want to. I wish I had a little turtle that I could put back there where you could just barely see it. That would look awesome. But I know I don't have anything like that right now. But I will be doing that in another video, I can tell you right now. And I'm making this look a little bit darker up here. I really like that. And I don't think I'm going to color this whole thing in either. think I'm going to leave some where it's like hope y'all can see what I'm doing here. Doing it on the back, then I'm flipping it over to see if I like it. And then I'm going back through in this clear area where I've not put anything. And I'm putting that Marabou Rainbow that gives it sort of just a glimmer. And I sort of like that. And I'm going to leave that just exactly the way it is. I sort of like I'm going to make sure that there's shimmer in this, because I'm not using clear resin. Oh no, I like fast projects. Y'all know I like fast projects. And I got a Temu order coming in today, so I'll probably be posting 2 videos. It's been 4 days since I've done a video, which is the longest I've waited in a while. But we have had several things going on in here, so life does happen. I want y'all to see that before I put it on the mold, so you can see the effect that you can get. That's just UV resin and alcohol ink, y'all. Yeah, it's smooth on that side. That's the rough side. Okay. I'm going to dry this. I want to make sure it's dry really, really good. I'm using my heat gun, because there's little bitty tiny holes in here. But now this alcohol ink dries really, really fast. And yes, I'm sure you have guessed by now, but we're going to be using the 10 minutecure Let's Resin polyurethane resin on this. And you see it got soft. The heat gun makes this soft, which is good because it makes it pliable. And I'm going to push it right down and fit it in exactly how I want it. And I hope, I need to cut a little bit of this off. Not much, just a little. Because I don't want it hanging over. And it's hanging over on the... And as you can see, you can cut this. Can't really tell how much. And when it starts getting cooled off, it will be a little bit harder to cut, but you can still cut it. This does not have to be even either. I mean, you want it as straight as you can get it, but look at all that right there. But this mica powder is not going to be on here even anymore either. But I need to get that off of there. I don't want that on there. I'm hoping it will cover up these defects in this mold. Okay, that's the part you're going to see in the front, not this. The rough part's going to go in the back. And I'm hoping that the resin will not seep up underneath, because now that's going to be an issue if it does. So I think what I'm going to do here, since this is resin, it's UV resin, but since it is resin, I'm going to try to mold it to this silicone. Now I'm heating it, hoping that it will get a good adhesion to the mold. So resin does not go up underneath this, because if it does, it's going to ruin it with the white resin. I don't want that. I'm afraid that's exactly what's going to happen. There's that. I got a big overhang. Okay. We're cutting more of this off, y'all. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more off of this edge right here. Okay. And yes, you could have made a template. So you wouldn't have had to have done this. But I didn't. So I don't want it to go up underneath there though. think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just pour just the corners and let that dry a little bit. And then pour the rest of it. So I'll be back when I get it all mixed up. Okay, I'm putting the A and B together. Now, of course, you know that you don't have much working time with this. So I did put a little bit of the pearl white mica powder in with part A before I mix them together. And you will be able to see this. Normally it would be totally clear. I'm just making sure that I'm mixing it good. And I made just enough, hopefully, to go around the edges only for right now. That is what we're going to do. And I have to work slowly, but quickly. So I'm trying just to get it up to that edge so it can dry without going up underneath. You see what I'm doing, right? I'm actually trying to hold this down. Okay, I made too much, so we're going to do this. And I'm hoping maybe. Have y'all ever done this? Okay. I'm going to have to make more up. But I'm hoping that I can hold this long enough so it does not go up underneath. And if it does, it's already too late. So but this gets thick real quick. So maybe you can see the colors. I'm going to go ahead and pour more of it up, mix more of it up, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, I mixed up more. I poured it in. It's still a little soft. I have no idea. This could be a total flop. Oh yeah, it went up underneath. Oh no. Alrighty, well. It is what it is, right? See if we can come out. Yeah, it covered it. This would have been so pretty. Oh wow, it really covered it. Yeah, I'm saying, but yeah, there's no way. There's no way of removing that. It's fused. Well, okay guys, but you could have seen how pretty it would have been. Yeah, this is waste. This is. I'm just trying to see if it. No. Okay. Oh, I hate that. You know what, though? Okay. Let's not give up on it yet. Let's just, let's do it again. How about that? Where'd the sheet go? With the UV resin. You know what I'm going to do, right? I'm not willing to give up on this yet. I want it to be really super thin. Really, really super thin. So what I'm going to do. I'm doing this. Make sure there's enough for it to form a bubble. But I want it to be thin enough. Okay. What do I do with the straw? Why is it not going down on this now? Uh-oh. Oh, goodness. When I was waiting for the resin to dry, I had been planning a trip to Connecticut next month. I've been wanting to go to the New England states all my life. I've never been there. And my son just happened to move there, so I had been planning a trip to go there. But sadly, I'm glad she's getting the surgery done. Kelly, his wife, my daughter-in-law, is having to have gallbladder surgery, and it's the 10th of November, and so it's just not going to be doable for me to do this in November. And So I guess it's going to be summer before I get up there. And so I'll miss the fall leaves and stuff. But hopefully, God willing, there's always next fall. Gallbladder is not a fun thing to have to deal with. So I'm glad that she's getting that done. And you know, life happens. That is just the way the world works. So I won't have to get a bunch of videos done up in advance. And I think I'll start looking around for some craft shows in November. I had not really scheduled any because I thought I was going there. So now that's going to open me up for some more craft shows. Hopefully it's not too late to get into them. But we're not going to give up, are we? We're going to keep on working with this, and maybe I can still get that to where it's usable. This is what you're going to find on my videos, y'all. If you've never been to one of my videos before, I show my flops right along with things that work out. I do it in real time. I don't edit my videos. I have learned how to stop and start, so you don't have to sit here like we're doing now, but at least I'm talking to y'all, waiting, and I just sort of want to keep it real, and so that's what we do here. I think I'm going to turn this off again, though. There's no reason for you to sit here and wait for this to dry again. So I'll be back when it's dry. Okay, guys, I'm back. I went ahead and did another sheet just like I showed you the first time. I have put this in over the top. I took some UV resin, and I am just doing a really thin coat. I'm wiping off the excess. I'm pushing down. There's that extra piece I put in there, and it has moved. I knew it did because it was white right there, so I need to move that back over there. See, it's not staying. Oh, goodness. It won't even go on my finger. This stuff is so thin. I mean, it's just thin, thin, thin. But it's good to know you can use this stuff for inserts and other stuff now. That's good to know. I would never have thought in a million years to make very thin sheets of UV resin to use inside polyurethane resin. But it definitely works. I'm just cleaning off the sides before I cure this again. I'm cleaning up my mess, basically, is what I'm doing. And I'm debating on whether or not, once I do this, if I want to pour a thin layer of regular clear resin over the top. But I'll tell you what, with this right here, you don't have to worry about bubbles at all. And yes, I am going to, not a whole lot. Yep, wrong one. Goes in there. And I am sort of just pushing that around with a little, yep, see? Don't forget you've got a little piece if you do this. I keep forgetting. There it goes again, y'all. That little piece is going to stay in there, though, whether it wants to or not. Okay, I hope y'all can see this pretty good. Oh, my station's a mess. Oh, see, that's the piece that I had left over. Okay, I'm going to put this back up underneath the light. I think I got all the excess off. I don't want it to harden. And we will see how this looks after it gets cured. Okay, it's been underneath here for about 5 minutes, so we're going to see. Oh, I should probably put gloves on. Let me put gloves on. I took my gloves off. If this is not cured, I don't want to pick it up. It should be 5 minutes, but whenever you're putting it on something like this, it always takes longer than if you're putting it in just a thin layer in a clear mold. Okay, let's see. It does not feel sticky anywhere. You could hear it with these gloves. This mold is not a good mold. It's the one that came with the J-Diction kit that I got. That's why I never had opened it. I didn't need it, but it was out here, and I thought, well, I'll use it. But even the sides, you see how I had to cut the sides and stuff off because it had warped. It was just a bad mold, which I don't mind using it for experimenting around and seeing. And it worked. And now the texture is rough on this, and I sort of like that. And the reason why I say that is your glass won't slip as easy as with the real smooth. I mean, see, I'm not putting much pressure. Let's see. See, there's like a it does. Can you hear that? See, it doesn't slide real easy. See, there's like almost like a sandy texture, which is really, really cool. So, and I love the alcohol ink on this with the soap. Now, it doesn't have the same effect as it would have if that hadn't have covered the top. It would have been more bubbly. But I saved this piece. I mean, I'm not going to use it because it's not a good mold. But I did show you where you could actually save the piece. And I am going to try this again on a good mold that is not got defects and warped on the sides. Because I think it will be a really cool way to get a different look. And I love the fact that you can put a very, very thin layer. This right here. This shows you how thin that is. Very, very thin layer. Let me peel this off and I'll use that as, yeah. I mean, you can even see in some areas I did not even get it. It's so thin. And it bends. See, it's so thin that it will bend. That's the smooth side. That's the rough side. And there's just so many things you can do with that. With this technique. Even these edges right here, that would look super cool in certain things. So It's just another really cool way of using alcohol inks with a very thin layer of UV resin. And I didn't have a mold. I didn't have anything. I just laid it right on a silicone mat as I showed you. And yes, you could use this the same way that you everybody shows with the mica powders or the the chameleon powders or the you could use that. But I would suggest you try the alcohol inks. Now I went with an oceany theme, and it would have looked really cool if I hadn't had to cover that white wavy looking thing up. That looks really cool. But I hope y'all will take this and have fun with it and experiment around yourself. And if you do, you can go to our Facebook group and post some pictures. I would love to see them. The link to the Facebook group is down below. And I want to thank each and every one of you for coming and watching my video. Please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. It's very, very important for all YouTubers. It's what tells YouTube to put us in the algorithm, and that's how everybody else gets to see our videos. So I would really appreciate that thumbs up. Alrighty, I'm going to say bye for now. And again, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you've not subscribed, please consider doing so by going down to the bottom and hovering over that little funny cat that I drew years ago. And it will take you to the subscribe buttons. I love the way that bubble. They just look like bubbles. I really love that. I wish you could see it. There it goes. I just love that effect. And of course, you could take bits and pieces of this too and put it in jewelry. The alcohol ink gives you a different look than the mica. You can put multicolor micas, of course, but this blends. This gives you a blended, that was yellow, that was not green. I put yellow and blue. That's the only two colors besides the rainbow. Oh, and the sinker white. I did use the sinker white. But two primary colors. And there's quite a few different colors in there. So I would say try the alcohol ink. And please, if you do it, please join the Facebook group and post some pictures of what you did with this. I hope to see you again real soon, and thank you again. Bye-bye.